In the ancient land of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar ruled with great power. He built a magnificent golden idol, towering high for all to see. A royal decree was sent throughout the kingdom. Everyone must bow down. When the music played, all people, nations, and languages were to worship the idol. Failure to obey meant a fiery end in a blazing furnace. Among the exiles from Judah were 3 young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were devout followers of the one true God and refused to worship any idol. Their hearts were filled with unwavering faith, even in the face of such a terrifying command. Some Chaldeans, jealous of the young men's positions, reported their disobedience to the king. Nebuchadnezzar, filled with fury, summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He questioned them, giving them another chance to bow to his golden image. "If you do not worship," the king thundered, "you shall immediately be cast into a burning fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you from my hands?" He challenged them. But the 3 young men stood firm, their resolve unshaken. They answered the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If this be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace," they declared, "and he will deliver us from your hand, O king. But if not, let it be known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods," they bravely stated, "nor will we worship the golden image that you have set up." Enraged, Nebuchadnezzar ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than usual. The flames roared, a terrifying inferno, consuming everything near its mouth. He commanded the mightiest men in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were bound in their cloaks, tunics, and other garments. Then they were cast into the midst of the blazing fiery furnace. So hot was the furnace that the flames killed the soldiers who carried them. The 3 young men fell down, bound into the heart of the fiery furnace. But suddenly, King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished and rose up in haste. He asked his counselors, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?" They answered and said to the king, "True, O king." He answered, "But I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt, and the appearance of the 4th is like a son of the gods." Nebuchadnezzar then came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace. He called out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out and come here." The 3 young men came out from the midst of the fire, unharmed. The satraps, prefects, governors, and king's counselors gathered around them. They saw that the fire had not had any power over their bodies. Not a hair of their heads was singed. Their cloaks were not harmed, and no smell of fire was on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar declared, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him." They set aside the king's command and yielded up their bodies rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. He then made a new decree that any people who spoke anything amiss against their God would be torn limb from limb, and their houses would be laid in ruins, for there was no other God who could deliver in this way. The king then promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. What lessons can we as Christians today learn from their incredible story? First, we learn about unwavering faith and courage. Even when faced with immense pressure and severe consequences, they stood firm in their convictions. Their example teaches us to trust God completely, even when circumstances seem impossible. Second, we learn about the power of prayer and God's miraculous deliverance. Though the Bible doesn't explicitly state they prayed in the furnace, their lives were dedicated to God. God heard their silent prayers and honored their faithfulness by protecting them. This reminds us that God is always with us, even in our darkest trials. Third, their story highlights the importance of obedience to God above all else. They chose to obey God's command not to worship idols, rather than the king's decree. This challenges us to examine our own lives. Are we prioritizing God's will? Fourth, we see the impact of a faithful witness. Their steadfastness led even a pagan king to acknowledge the power of the Most High God. Our consistent faith can similarly influence those around us, pointing them to Christ. Finally, the presence of the 4th figure in the fire reminds us of Jesus' presence. He is with us in our trials, offering comfort, strength, and ultimate deliverance. Let this message encourage us to stay faithful no matter what we face. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Bible stories and Christian animations. God bless you.